Section of our CorelDRAW class. In today's tutorial, we'll be looking at how to design an ID card either for business or for office or for personal use. I'm just going to be explaining the concepts behind crafting or designing a simple and yet intuitive ID card. Okay, one of the things that you need to ensure when designing whether ID card, whether business card or anything is that you have to try to ensure simplicity. Make sure your design is simple and not too complex. Keep the design simple and clean. Another thing is consistency. Keep the fonts, the color, the layout consistent throughout the design. This will make your design stand out, unique, and actually make sense. Another thing again is following typography rules. Your line spacing, kerning, font style should be in a way that it's allow easy readability, that its user can easily read what is on screen, what you have designed. Then when you are designing, you want to make use of grid and rulers where necessary so that you can measure and also make be sure that items are in line with one another. They have the right line spacing, the right alignment, whether the right alignment, justification, left or center alignment, whichever alignment you have decided to use. White spacing helps to create a breathing space in your work, so you want to make sure that there is white spacing and it is effectively used in your design. What are the other things that you need to note in your design? One thing is you need to learn from criticism. People will criticize your work, they will criticize it, they will be like, what is this, what is that? Don't just take the bitter part of whatever they have said. Try to look at what they're trying to point at and try to improve over that, because it's one way you can actually improve in your design. The other thing is you want to sleep when necessary. Don't work yourself out. When it is necessary to sleep, you need to rest so that you don't avoid you don't end up designing something so unprofessional. So you need to rest as a graphic designer. Another thing is you need to connect with graphic designers from different groups, from different forums and the like, so that you can share resources and also share ideas together. What else did I need to say? Okay, you need to practice the right color combination. Don't just make your design color riot. Don't just mix colors together without implying your color sense. So learn different color combinations. Learn to know which color match with this and match with that. Okay, then another thing is never be in haste to deliver your job. Take your time to design and design to perfection. If you're not okay with the first version of your design, go on to version 1.1, version 2.0, version 3, and go on like that until you're able to craft a very reasonable design. Okay, nobody's on high land of knowledge here. I think there's a popular saying like that. So you can get inspiration from different groups, graphic design groups, graphic design forums, Pinterest, graphic family, Instagram, Google, FreePic, and so many other resource sharing platforms where you can get templates to actually get inspiration from. Nobody knows it all, so we all learn day by day. Then the last thing I need to say is you need to step up with design trend. What are the latest design trend? You need to step up with that. Then use your image and graphics appropriately. Don't just bundle them into your design without actually making any sense. All right, having said that, so we have to dive into our actual design. Okay, what you're seeing on screen right now is what we're going to be designing today. So I'm going to take us through how to design these two ID card templates. They are simple, and we can design these under short minutes. All right, so let's get started with that. All right, to do that, I'm just going to open a new CorelDRAW document. Control N. I don't want to give it title anyway, so I'm just going to click on OK. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to take my rectangular tool and draw the paper size, the ID card size. Okay, if you look at my measuring unit is centimeter. So if I'm going by centimeter, the size will be 9.04 by 5.74. Sorry, that's not what I mean to do. .74 by 9.04. Okay, So this is the size of my ID card. So you can have your ID card as landscape, you can have it as portrait, but for today I'm going to be designing a portrait ID card. So I'm going to just duplicate this just by dragging and dropping with a right click, or I use Ctrl C, copy, then Ctrl V to paste, then I place it by side. So that's that. If your unit of measurement is in inches, you need to be 2.26 by 3.56. Okay, all right, so now let's get started with our design. Okay, just like you've seen what we have in the image I showed you, so we are going to start with that. So the first thing you want to do is you want to create your design section. So I'm going to be starting with the second design. So I just have okay, let me just take this again. So let me just explain. I drag this down to this level and I right click, so it creates a copy of this here. So I can give it I don't want to use black, I want to use, okay, let me just apply blue for now, but I'm going to take a dark shade of that. Okay, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to have that. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to have my circular tool. So I want to have my circular tool in this manner. Okay, so then I'm going to be giving it an outline. I actually want to change the color of my outline. Okay, the color of my outline is going to be so I'm okay with this. Okay, so I take this and I increase the, all right, that's good. So for now I will just give it a white background so that it doesn't just look that empty. Then I'm going to apply white color to this as well, though I want to use 10% black. Then I'll adjust the contrast of my color. Alright, so that's that. So the next thing I want to do is I want to have the name of the business I'm designing for, which is Petals. Then I want to, the font I'll be using is Poppins as my font. So let me just quickly import the logo I'll be using for my design. Alright, I've designed this logo already, but unfortunately I did not save it as an SVG, so which means I'm not going to be able to actually adjust this. Okay, but I need to really say something. In case you have logo like this that you can't edit, there's something you can do. You can just click on this trace bitmap and click on quick trace. It's going to just create this this for you, but it's not going to be perfect. That's just one thing. Alright, let me use that avenue to explain how I get, or how I come about this logo in the first place. Okay, I have my rectangular tool for this section. Okay, then I have my plus inside. Then I also have this. I convert to curve, Control Q. Then I double click on this point. I delete this section. Then right click E and select convert to curve. So that is how I have this edge. So then I delete this also, then convert to curve. Okay. So that is how I have that. So then for this other one too, I have my rectangular tool. I will just have copied this from the other design, but I just want to explain how I come about these design. So that's why I have to go through this again. So Control Q, convert to curve. Then I want to delete this point E. So I right click and convert to curve. Alright, so then I want to bring this down. Okay, so that's about that. Then, oh sorry, I need to adjust this inward. Okay, so adjust this point too. Alright, then this last part, my rectangular tool also. Ctrl Q, convert to curve. Okay. Alright, so that's how I come about that. Then I begin to apply my colors, and this is shift page up to bring it to the front of the page, and I have this there. Then I have this also. No, this. Let me just delete this. So I have this to the top also. So that is how I craft my logo. Then I make sure that I have filling F11. So I fill in the same color here, so I can have the same shade. Then for this one I have okay, I can just zoom up so we can see what we are doing here. So I have my Ctrl C, Ctrl V, then I take it to 90 degrees. So now I have it joined together. I wet it together so I can give it any color I want. I right click on red color so I can give it red color. So and this is going to take blue. So that's how I come about my color. So then I have a rectangle. I'm sorry, I have it in a circle. Alright, so I increase the outline of this. So I don't need this any longer, so I can delete that. So now I group everything together, then adjust to the size I need. Alright, so let's proceed with what we're doing. So petals is my font, my text. So if you look at what we have here, you can see we have in the logo, we have a magnifying glass and this icon in between them, the medical store. So I'm just going to come back here. Alright, so this is going to be popping semi-bold. Okay. Then I'm going to remove the A and create spacing. Alright, so I'm going to pick my icon tool and I'll just take the magnifying tool. So I'm just going to insert the magnifying tool so I can add my icon to that. Okay, so sorry, don't know what's wrong. Sorry, for some reason, because I could not close the app on time, the app crashed. So I just need to copy it from here. So now I'll give this my color too, color for my design. And this is going to be the dark shade of my color. Sorry, not that, just this. All right, so that has been taken care of also. So the next thing I want to have is medical store. All right, so that's taken care of already. So the next thing is this section. I want to have the name. So this is going to be white, and all right, so this is going to be a shade of black. Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to have is alright, so the next section I want to have here is I'll take my freehand tool, then just draw a line in, white outline, then I'll keep the outline to that level. So I want to have my phone number and my address. Alright, so we have that already. So the other thing we need to do here is, let me just zoom up this layer. I need to create a breathing space between these items. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add icon. I want to add my icons. Control R. So I'll add my icon inside this circle too. So that's for that. Alright, so okay, I want to have my image also. Because I have multiple tasks running in the background, the system is kind of lagging, but just going to cover everything at this time. Alright, to just avoid that stress, let me quickly copy the image from here because that will take a lot of time to fix. So seriously, this is seriously bad. This is seriously bad. Alright, that is set already. I actually need to use a background at the top. I'm just going to change this icon here. So I'll just add this icon. So that is, I'm done with that. Alright, so the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to design the other one. So for this, I'm going to have this. I'll bring it down to this level. Alright, so I'm going to just keep this background for now so that we can see what we are doing. Just keep this background. So just don't mind this. Right, so this is what I will do. I'll convert to curve. And I'll pick my shape to, I'll click on any point here. Sorry, okay. So then I will drag this down. I'll drag this point down. These two. Alright, I'll use my ruler to make sure that I'm having a straight line for that point. Then I'll click on my shape tool also. I have this. Alright, so I'm going to take rectangular tool. I want to make sure that I'm having the same for both sides. I want to make sure that one is not wider than the other. Okay, so I'll pick this up to shape 2. So I'll have to adjust this. Alright, so the next thing I want to do now is I'll give this white so that we can see what we are doing. I'll give this white, then I'll remove this for now. Sorry, not that. This. Alright, so what I want to do next is I want to draw my circular tool.
What you are eating in the afternoon? No biscuits, no anything. That has locked door.
So first of all, I want to have a semicircle, not a perfect circle. So I click on the bezier tool. Then first of all, I want to have this. Okay. I hold on the control key and I click on this. So then I hold on my shift and click on this circular tool. Then I'll come to this back minus front. So without done, I can just click on this, then click on break cover part. So I have my semicircle ready. So I'll just bring here. Alright, so I want to make sure that this is touching the edge A, so that I don't have
I remember
okay. Alright, so this is better. I want to do the same for this edge A. Alright, so with this now, I'll hold on my shift and click on this, then I'll click on trim. So I have this shape already, so that is what I want to achieve there. So I can adjust this, just delete this. So I can adjust this shape. If I need to make any adjustment, I can use my shape tool to make necessary adjustments. If I want to, I can delete any of those points. If I actually want to do that, I can do this and do the same here. Then okay, then have this point. So all right, so that's about that. So I can bring this down if I want to. All right, so that's how we get go about that. So the next thing I want to do, I just want to copy this, since I'll be having the passport here. So I'll just copy this and just drop it here. All right, so for this, if you look at the design, we are using a different color this time around. So I want to have this one here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have this as white outline. Then I want to pick up my rectangular tool. Okay, let's add this first. Now make sure that this edit corner together is locked. So this will allow me to have the same proportion for them. Once I click on one here, it's adjusted roundabout instead of just adding it to just one point. So I'm going to just leave that there, and I'll give it blue outline. So also I want to have another rectangular too, but this time around I don't want this to be locked, because I only want to apply it to just two parts, just these two parts. So I have that. So I'm just going to duplicate this, drop with a right click, then Ctrl R to repeat that. So I'm just going to drag this in. So I can have this. Okay. All right, so let's quickly have our name. Our name is Janet Aderidigbe. So I want to have my name here in black. All right, so the next thing I want to have is I want to have the what's it called, the phone number, the office, or this section. I want to have them there. So instead of having to type it again, I will just copy all of this. Just copy this. So just copy this and place in my design. So all I just have to do is adjust to fit to the right position. Okay, so let's do the adjustment. All right, so and for this, let's zoom up. To have my freehand tools. I'm going to have it as 0.05. Then I'm going to use dotted line, and the outline is going to be white. or I want to just keep it to 0.5. Okay, so then I want to bring this down to proportion. Okay. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add background to this section, then add my logo. I want to add my logo, and so this is going to be white. Sorry. Okay. This is going to be adding white background. And I'm going to group this also. So I'm going to adjust the color to fit our design here. So I will do that at a later time. Just let's come with what we're doing. Alright, so if you look at our design, we already have almost everything we have here. So just to balance up with the last thing here, so we having yellow instead. Be having yellow, then I want to adjust this. Okay, so I'm going to quickly do some yeah, I think this is what I want actually. So I'll just copy fill in here. So that's all set. If you look at our design, for throughout the two design, we use the same font, which is Poppins. I don't have to use multiple fonts, use 3-4 fonts, that's not necessary. So I just want to add a background here. So where's this background? All right, let me just find some background here. All right, with or without the background, this looks amazing, but I just want to make sure that we have that background in our design. So let me just pick up the background from here. I can't really find the location where the background is, so I'm just going to be using this. Alright, right click on this and power click inside this area, so I just have to edit it to fit to this area. The transparency of this background is set to 90%, so all I just have to do is pick up the transparency to and adjust it as I want. I can return it back to the actual way, so I can take it back to 90. So that's just all I did there, and then I power click it. So that's just all. So if you look at what we have now, we have this, and so they're simple and no color riots in our design. So that's just how to go. So if you are designing for hospital, the same pattern. If you are designing for school, only few difference that you have there. And okay, I want to have the back of my ID card just like I have. Yeah, did I actually have it here? Yes, I actually have it initially. Alright, so let me quickly just take the back of my ID card. So I'll just use this. Alright, so I'm just going to leave this section and add a barcode to it. I can't remember where the barcode actually is. I have to find it on my system. I can't remember where I have that QR code. So, okay, I should have it here. Oh no, here. Alright, with this I'm done with the ID card design, so I can decide to make everything at the back black. It's not necessary that this has to be colored actually, also, so I can make this black, so we can also have our logo in that manner and all of that. So, but I'm just going to leave it in my shade of blue, and I'm just going to have that like that. So with this now we are actually done with our ID card, and we have been able to design our ID card. So in the next tutorial, I'll be explaining how to create video on how to create banner, business card, and some other digital content for our online business.